All right, we're live with the crickets.
Hell yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarian Podcast.
What the fuck?
Oh, no. He stuck.
Dude, it sounded like you farted and then he got out.
Wow, it froze right in the introduction.
Right at the
That was
intro.
Otto. Yeah.
All right.
His kids are hogging up all the Wi-Fi.
All right. So we're here with the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 412. I am here tonight with Otto, who is currently frozen. And also James Babb,
Yo.
Alex Schlegel,
Hey, what's up, everybody?
and special guest Forest Mommy.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on again.
Yeah, the return.
No problem. Thanks for coming. All right. Otto looks like he's back.
Otto's back.
I don't know what's going on.
Dude, it sounded like you farted and then you were gone.
Motherfucker. Yeah, I don't understand either.
You need to
None
get
of my
an account for your kids to watch porn on. So it
But
doesn't
they're not
affect-
here.
No.
They're not here. My son's
Get them
here.
their own
That's
T1
it.
line, dude.
I'm here with just my son, and he is out with the dog right now, and I'm just in the house by myself. No one else is using a computer, so I don't understand what's going on. Just the world wants to sabotage me. Whatever.
It's not your day,
Anywho.
man.
Well, let's
It's-
face it. There's a lot of powerful forces that would rather this podcast not go down. You know,
Right.
but here we are. We will not be defeated
Right.
Well,
easily.
Let's
sort of.
judge it at the
Easy-
end.
there you go,
Let's
easily.
judge at the end.
Damn. So,
Anyways,
yeah. So, Force Mommy's return. Recently booted off of Twitter. Or how many accounts are you on now?
This is my third, and I'm not. This is it. After this,
Oh no.
that's it.
Yeah. So how's
Okay, let's just start right out. The sort of your introduction will be, how did you get booted for Twitter recently?
This time, I don't know. They won't respond to me. The only thing I've gotten was I filed an appeal, and they were just emailed me and told me to email them back to verify the email with them. But there was an email verified with that account already. But there was always glitches going on with it, so I don't know what they did. But I think it literally happened right after I made a post with the word groomer in it.
that's it.
I'm blaming that. But what was weird is I got banned, and then literally my co-host from my show, Forest Family Show's Golden Shower Sunday Stream, Heck, he posted
What?
a picture of my
What?
he posted a picture of my suspension, and then he got both of his accounts got banned, but they sent him reasons. So it was just weird.
for
been a
posting
week
a
now.
picture of your
Oh.
suspension, that's illegal?
I don't know, but no, we think he got in another kerfuffle, but it might have been from that, but it was just really bad, weird timing. But I don't know what I did. I don't even know what I did. Just let me know,
I'd
I
say it
hate
was
that.
just
That's-
probably cumulative wrong think. Just eventually they're like, no.
They've had their eyes on me.
No more of that.
that's how they got me on Facebook. They did the same thing. They banned me, and they were like, "Yeah, so you can send a complaint or whatever." But I kept on sending. Oh yeah, my ID. That's what it was. I kept having to send them my ID. I kept doing it. I did it 30 times, and they're like, no reason why they kicked me off. No, nothing. And they wouldn't accept I don't know. They just never answered me. They just never got back to me every time I'd submit my ID. And then finally, they snuked the account after 6 months. I know, but I couldn't log into it.
These rat bastards.
Thought it was I thought maybe it was a sparkler incident, but I guess it
No,
wasn't
that's
that.
that's kind of they encourage.
That's
that
like old
behavior.
news,
Yes,
man.
Twitter's all about having porn on there.
You can literally not that I know personally, but you can literally find anything you're looking for, even on Twitter. Just saying.
I wouldn't know.
They
I'm
allow
a
a
good boy.
lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Don't even go looking for it.
So
I
how's
did that,
the,
for everybody.
She's cataloged it all for us on forestmommy.com.
Which I do own, and there will be something happening with that website eventually.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Get my shit together.
How's the porch tour?
Porch tour went awesome. I was a little nervous, but because Libertarians just bring another level of hey, can we open air drugs, do a drug market? It just goes full. But everybody
Yeah. And you you can.
Yeah, I'm normally fine with it, but this is on private property, so I don't know. I just I'm chill unless someone obviously says that's what we're gonna do. I don't know. That's just me. That's my my personal values. I do have some. But anyways, like 80 people showed up, we think. I had a bunch of friends like that aren't Liberty involved at all, and they came. My parents were there. So like God bless my parents because they did the smoke out, bug out. They're like never around that kind of stuff, but they like handled it.
Is that the No Agenda ad that I heard? I was listening to the No Agenda podcast and I heard an advertisement for it, some donor, and was advertising for it. Yeah.
For smoke out, bug out part.
Yes.
What it is.
Yeah.
I was
they were like
judge.
Comedy with Robbie the Fire Bernstein. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be big. It's getting a lot of promos.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I should. Next, this was the end of his porch tour, which we have to talk about because you guys went to one too, right? Or some of you did.
I was the only one.
Alex. Yeah, I couldn't make it.
You were the only one.
Kind of out in Western Maryland. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a little long. It's a far drive too from like.
That's the thing. Like if they're further out, maybe gotta start. Maybe even start them a little earlier. Or, figure stuff out like that.
Yeah, I was kind of like it was a lot and it was a long day and not enough time to socialize. There was a lot of people that I first time meeting, and I would have liked to have some time, like just mingling, networking, trying to bring more people into the Mises Caucus in Maryland, or just building that Liberty network. But it didn't seem like after you recorded his live podcast, it was like, damn, it's like 1 a.m. and I got like an hour and a half drive back to Baltimore. So it was kind of like well. So, but he's apparently he's going to have another one here in Maryland. So
so
that'll be
I'm
a
told.
good opportunity.
So Northern Maryland. Pretty.
It was hilarious. Robbie's
it's just kind of cool, and like it'll just get better and better the more he does, and like it's more of a movement, and it's just fun. And bring your own beer kind of parties are nice. It's just I don't know, they're just nice to go to. It's chill,
Yeah.
No. It's like a venue. You show up or whatever. Some people offer food and stuff too, but yeah, it was great. All the Colorado people. It was probably, I'm gonna say this unofficially, but I think it was probably the biggest meetup since our convention in March. Like the biggest meetup of like the Liberty, the top tier Liberty people out here. No, just kidding. Just like the biggest group.
The A-list.
The A-list.
Where are you?
I'm in Denver, Colorado, basically, or like an hour outside of Denver, Colorado. So the dry lands out here, although we've had a lot of rain. But anyways, everyone had to drive. It's basically halfway between Colorado Springs and Denver, which is convenient for a meetup and stuff. So everyone came, and it was a great time. We had professional lighting because he also had Gus out here who does really good filming. He filmed it, and people brought chairs. So other than just camping chairs, some people bought a bunch of chairs, to set up and stuff. So it was a good time. The house has never seen anything like that before because there was the rap concert ahead of time too. My dad was loving it.
That's funny.
So whose rappers were these? I mean, did they travel with Robbie? Is that what?
Who's rappers? What, like they own them, Otto?
No, they're called the Shedcast. They're two guys called the Shedcast, and I actually asked Robbie and met them, and he did his first porch tour out of their house or something, and they've just been really good friends ever since. And they're pretty good rappers and stuff. I'll post some videos of them later, but yeah, it's a good time. Good time.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, the venue Max in Maryland, I guess he's been hosting them for a couple years.
He has like a bar outdoor bar or something, doesn't he? Like it's all set up badass. I need to see that.
It was really where he recorded the after hours, and then he did another one in November over Thanksgiving, but that was smaller. But he basically converted his garage into a man cave, and he's got a full bar and audio set up and pool tables, and he has this really cool outdoor patio area. But apparently he's a commercial electrician, so he's got these like huge chandeliers out on his porch. Like it's pretty baller.
Nice.
And it's out in Bumble, like out in Western Maryland where it starts getting mountainous. So he has and then his backyard, like his deck was kind of set up basically a stage more or less, and we're just all out on camping chairs. It was a great turnout. I'd say probably about the same, 35, 40 people, dogs running around. It was chill. So
yeah, and people people camp at that one too?
A couple people did. Two of husband and wife they're in the Mises Caucus. They were looking to camp. My girlfriend, she's just like, yeah, she's not a big camper. Pork Fest was only her second time camping ever. So yeah.
You don't like
but
it,
I think
don't
a couple
like it.
people camped out. So
People asked to do it at mine, but I was like, no one's camping here. Move along, crazy libertarians. No, but it worked out
Digging up
good.
poop holes in your yard, in your front yard.
Exactly.
Next thing
You
you
don't
know-
have to
there
go
was like
home.
very
you
minimal.
can't
There was
stay
like
here.
no damage, barely any trash. Like it turned out really good for as many people as it felt like that was there.
Good.
So yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's a good event. Like it brings out a lot of people. So yeah, I'm definitely opportunities to network and just build that bigger liberty movement and
The community. Like I have
Yeah.
friends like from high school that are friends with my Twitter friends now, like BFF.
rad.
Like it's just like I love it. I just love connecting people and it's great.
we're gonna need it. Shit might hit the fan. So,
Exactly. You gotta have accomplices.
so Otto, do you want to get into Babs and Jared and I were talking about it? I know you're in on it, Force Mommy, but the whole LPNH tweets. I
These
mean,
guys have been, I mean, let's face it, these guys have been pretty like cutting edge for a while now, right? I mean, aren't they?
Yeah.
This isn't their first time in the limelight.
Yeah, well, then people are like, oh, clutching their pearls.
yes, the pearl clutching.
Let's
Well-
can we see the offending meme?
I think the original, the McCain,
Well-
Megan McCain tweet was
It's
the
a
first
little
one.
Yes.
much. It's a little
Okay.
much.
I'll let you
Really?
guys discuss it. You guys can talk about it. I'll stand.
It's not
I'll,
allowed.
I'll, I'll let
Describe
you
it.
guys.
Most
I
people haven't
appreciate
seen
it.
it or have any idea what we're talking about.
This one
It's
here.
Oh
It's
no,
a-
they do.
I'm sure everybody has seen it.
I'm
by
sure
now.
I know,
everyone
like,
knows.
that's what's funny about it is it like everybody was talking about it. So
Well, I just heard about it from when you told me about it before the show. So this is the first time
Oh
I've
well, that's
seen it.
because you're up in the hills. You're in the hill
You're-
country.
You're in your undisclosed bunker.
You were literally
and-
above the clouds. I saw a picture of you above the clouds, and it had nothing to do with weed. That's how high
It
you
says
were.
Happy Holidays, and this is the monster McCain, I guess, in a
Monster.
coffin with a flag draped over it, and his spawn weeping. Is this right? Is that an accurate description?
Yeah.
This
There's
is
a
Yeah.
war
And it
criminal.
says
It's a
was
war
very-
criminal
Happy
in a
Holidays.
box. It's a war criminal in a box decorated by the sacred flag of the empire.
How
And,
do you really
and it says
feel?
Happy Holidays. So
And this
I
was
mean-
marking the 4th anniversary. This was tweeted out on the 4th anniversary of McCain, John McCain's passing
Well,
from
look what
his tumor.
look what Mr. Amash has to say. This is a
Yeah.
horrible, disgusting tweet. I already know the response will be that McCain advocated wars and military actions that are horrible and disgusting, but that doesn't justify being cruel to his family and loved ones. If you want to bring people to libertarianism, show humanity.
Okay, Justin.
well, you know what? I think he's got a point, because to say Happy Holidays implies that John McCain dying of a brain tumor is worthy of celebrating. Okay. All right, I'm sorry, but when a tyrant dies of natural causes, it just means that we failed. He never
Right.
met justice on this earth. Okay.
Well,
So
we know what
that's not
side
something
Babs
to
is
celebrate.
on of the debate of this tweet being good or
Right.
bad now.
What side are you
tell. I
on,
think he needs
Forrest?
to go
Mom?
more
I'm not,
detail. I wanna
now
hear.
from a purely marketing perspective, that's a different question. I was just describing the image so the viewers could know what we're talking about.
But I think
It's
that's the name of the
the
podcast.
PR image that
What is?
like who gets an
War
image
criminal in
like
a box or whatever.
Yeah.
I
No,
thought
it's-
I was entertained by it all, but my main conclusion is like, if you don't like it, then don't you tweet it. Like I don't know, like, or people are like, I would do it differently. Well, then do it differently. I think Todd, what's his name, even says like it was like, well, I would have done it. Well, then fucking tweet that stuff out. Start spreading the message however you want to do. Why are you watching them and
Right.
only like, and so like getting mad at what they do? Like you could do stuff. You could be inflammatory. You can.
Well,
you
I mean,
What do you
would you-
think's
would-
worse?
would-
Let
would
me just
people
ask
be-
you a question. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
yeah, go
Okay,
for it.
you go ahead.
All right. I was just
well-
gonna say, like, would we would people be reacting this way if it was like Fidel Castro in the box.
Right,
You know, and
Martha
it was like,
Bueno.
and it was it was like Martha Bueno crying over
Would Martha
casket.
Bueno be crying if that was Castro in the box?
Oh,
She
that
called,
is
she said mean things about Angela. I was like, like
Yo,
ride or
that's the
die
thing.
for Angela. So.
She's a Fed and she works for some NGO. I swear she's a spook. She is not a. I'm
Aren't
telling
we
you
all
something.
though?
Well, I'll tell you what. Like she's been going after Angela going back to
I know.
when there was the uprising in Cuba, and she was just basically calling for a boogaloo, a U.S. funded and backed military intervention into Cuba, and it's like, whoa, this isn't really libertarian. Like, well, LP should do something. They got to tweet something. They have to have a response, and it's like, no, like we don't support regime changes, and it's like. Yeah, and then where she's all, well, we could get into that later, but I just don't think Meghan McCain.
I had suggested that we send ghost gunner machines to Cuba, right? Like, I don't want to, like, I think that would be fair,
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think Meghan McCain should be off limits. It's pathetic. All these lolberts were upset about it, and
what do you think is more cringeworthy, this tweet, right, or that meme? Or the time McCain sang "bomb, bomb, 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 bomb," Iran, and made jokes about starting war with a humongous, wonderful country like Iran.
Yeah. In 2008, when he was running for president, I remember that, Babs, when he was running and all the warmongering and there was every war that he supported.
Which one's more offensive? This tweet, like seriously, let's keep this in perspective. That dude was this monster.
Yeah, or backing the coup in Ukraine, and that's why all this bullshit's going on in Ukraine. The whole Maidan revolution and the whole, what was that, 2014? So fuck the McCains. Meghan McCain shouldn't be off limits. I posted in there. It was some of the shit she said on The View. When she was on that show, and some of her personal, like, oh well, Assange should be in jail for and tortured, and anybody in January 6th or anybody there is a domestic terrorist and should be sent to Gitmo. Like, fuck Meghan McCain.
Right, that's perfectly acceptable. It's perfectly acceptable to say stuff like that on The View, but if you want to make a joke about a dead tyrant, right? That's suddenly super, super offensive. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the reactions was weird. How there was that instant like sympathy for her, but I'm like, the whole photo. Who takes a photo like that at a funeral? Unless you're like,
it was a photo. It was probably posed anyway. They probably had a top marketing firm do the framing and the editing.
If you don't want somebody to make fun of you for that bullshit, then don't do it. Like,
she also reposted the tweet like 6 times.
6 times,
and she like posted a different like caption each time, and like you could just tell like she was looking for attention. She's looking for sympathy. It's like one time would be like enough.
Those poor misunderstood McCains. Oh, breaks my heart.
I use sparklers for attention, and she uses like her father's bombing of other countries for attention. It's just really sad.
Plant-based Caucus says he wishes Kyle was here to discuss this. I'm sure you'd have some like lukewarm take on it. Yeah.
Well, as far as a party, I don't think you should use your party platform to say things about. Now, did I like McCain's policies? No. But as a party, I don't know.
Dude, you nailed it. Except for the voice.
Everyone's always complaining about messaging. They're like, I'm like, just do your own message then. You don't have to put any energy towards the actual party if you don't like it. Like,
well, but
if
your
message is so good, put it out.
But this is something that is going to reflect upon libertarians in New Hampshire that are part of that organization. It's coming out on an official channel, right?
But
it's like
as
it's
all
reflect upon everybody in the organization.
But it made its way to CNN, and of course,
and their ratings were as high as they ever were.
That's true.
That's kind of a Trump moment for them. A Trump moment.
I feel like this is the 3rd or 4th time we're like, oh, those New Hampshire LP, aren't they? Look at that bold messaging that's getting them all kinds of attention. That is like, yeah, somebody's gonna hate, somebody's gonna love, but we're here discussing it again, right? Like, what do you want to have?
The perfect.
Do you want to have the perfect non-offensive message that nobody ever hears? Or do
Yeah,
you want to or do you want to take a jab at a war criminal? What they really deserve. These people should be laughed at, mocked, ridiculed. It only stands out because they're the only ones doing it, right? Everybody should be doing it. People should have been at that funeral, standing up there making speeches about what a horrible monster of a war criminal is, his family should just go hide their heads in shame. Okay.
The best meme that came from that funeral was there was a picture of like all the presidents lined up in the front row, and it's one of my favorite memes. They're all in this church, all packed together, all the presidents, senators, everyone, and then she goes to like the bottom screen of the meme was a picture from the movie The Patriot, where it's the British guy says, "Burn the church." It's my favorite. No, so I really felt it was disingenuous for people to say you're mocking someone's grief. We're like, no, we're mocking this bitch's grief. Like that's just how it is to me. Like, no, she's vile.
She's just an accessory in the mocking of McCain, the war criminal in the box. Okay, like she just happened to be there
because she's trying to use his name, and she's trying to use his name to get ahead in life, and so it's like
and the whole thing was pageantry. Like the whole entire funeral was pageantry, and you know what? For everything that James just said, like that's why I like the meme. I probably would not have shared it from an official channel of the LP. I probably would have saved it for PRL. Clearly,
I would have been way too chicken to post that on an official channel, right? Because
we did post it on the Instagram account. Except I posted a variation of it.
You guys posted good. You guys post good ones too. They're
I tagged or I superimposed a picture of AOC fake crying at the at the border. I put it in the picture.
I think maybe if anything, as Otto being the Region 5 alternate, and I'm kind of shut up, Meg.
Okay, for the audience who's listening,
shut up, Meg.
Please describe that.
It's the same picture, but it's Peter Griffin saying next to her saying, "Shut up, Meg." From Family Guy.
Jared, pull up the Tim Dillon video, because that's the thing. Like she's just she just has just been this constant victim blaming. Remember, like when Trump called McCain out a couple times, and she's on The View like, Trump talked about my father. She'd get all upset, butthurt, like fuck her. And then the crazy shit she would say. But this is great. This is Tim Dillon, and then this made its rounds.
Ooh.
Well, there's spillover on this topic with wait a minute. What?
This is great.
Before my father died, I had a baby with him, and it will be raised in captivity. It'll be raised privately to be the greatest politician that has ever lived. My name is Meghan McCain, and I'm on a news show called The View. And Donald Trump, that fucking riverboat casino captain, is talking shit about my father again. My father was tortured for 100 years for this fucking country, and he came back and he started 7 wars because he's a gentleman. Fuck you, Trump. I'm going to wear my father's skin mask, and I'm going to primary Trump from the right. Come on The View, bitch. If you're that tough, come on The View. You want it, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? You want this shit? You want to fuck these tits, Trump? You want to fuck these tits? No, you don't. You want to suck cock. And I won't fuck you because the only person I'll fuck is Daddy. I'll fuck his corpse. I'll fuck Daddy's corpse.
Oh my God.
This was like several years ago too.
So it's like
I think it was like right after he died.
Tim Dillon's a national treasure.
Oh my God, yeah, he has a ranting when he rants about Joe Rogan. I like watch that when I'm having a bad day. He just cracks me the fuck up when he gets going.
His latest rant on Rogan was amazing. But Jared and I saw him when he came through Baltimore about a year ago. He was fucking hilarious.
He filmed a special that just came out. He filmed it out here in Denver, but I didn't go to it. I think it was still on the iffy vaccine thing. So
forget that.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Womp womp.
Yeah. So that wasn't the worst tweet that New Hampshire put out. I wasn't aware of this, but an hour before they posted that, they posted another tweet, which is the one that was not aware of until this morning. I don't know, Jared. If you want to find this tweet, I don't know if you still have.
It's probably deleted, isn't it?
I don't know.
Can you describe it or read it?
Yeah, I can read the gist of it. It pretty much
just read it.
It just said $6 million an hour or you're anti-Semitic.
I saw that.
I don't even understand what it means. I don't get it.
6 million. It's like if you don't agree with 6 million, you're anti-Semitic.
It's like Holocaust denial.
Yes.
The 6 million. Anytime anyone says it's like a joke that I'm a Holocaust denier, but it's not. They never fucking really are. It's just like ridiculous. You know?
So it's a play on minimum wage, right?
Yes.
So if you disagree with 6 million, you're anti-Semitic. So if you disagree with minimum wage 6 million, you're anti-Semitic. It's not actually an anti-Semitic joke. It's just a joke that involves anti-Semitism, if I understand it correctly.
Pretty much, but that's not how it reads to literally everyone. To come out of the actual LPNH, their official Twitter account, it was just
Jeremy.
unnecessary.
It's Jeremy, isn't it? Pretty much.
No,
I think we
it
need to go.
wasn't
I think we
Jeremy.
need
I
to
know
go
who
to
did
the.
it, but I'm not gonna
We need
say.
to go to our resident Jew to
After
help us
hours?
out of this one.
Yeah, we
I'll
could talk
tell you
about
that.
it
I'll
after
tell you
hours,
after
maybe.
hours.
I mean, I wasn't.
be an after-hours
I actually
tweet.
saw it I saw it yesterday. I saw the original because I saw the one we were just looking at, and then I scrolled down and read the comments, and someone had screenshot of the other one. It was like, "Oh, is this you guys?" And it was it was that tweet. I don't know. I was like, it's a little bit in bad
funny.
taste, and it wasn't.
It wasn't
didn't
even,
really make me
even
laugh.
funny. It wasn't relevant. It just did nothing. And I'm like, why
Yeah.
is this something that needed
Listen,
to come from the
you know what?
official?
When
It's
you're-
not
when
worth.
you're-
It's
when
not
you're-
worth the
Are you
risk.
When you're a comedian
think
on
that-
stage, right? You throw it out there. You're going to have hits. You're going to have misses. Okay.
Yeah.
Twitter's
You put it
great
out
for
there,
that
you
too.
get up
'Cause
there, you
can
do
just
your set, right? And like you're not always. Sometimes you're going to fail miserably, but they're taking shots at the goal. You know, they're out there making moves, and they're not always going to work.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
problem
There
is
was
if you're a political party, it backfires pretty horrendously when it doesn't
Yeah.
work. When it's a comedian,
Yeah.
it's like, whatever. On to
I
the
was-
next.
the minimum
So you're
wage
saying
thing
there's
from
a
that Nina
difference.
Turner.
You're saying there's a difference between a comedian and a political party.
I mean, they're both
I don't think
clowns,
there
but, like,
necessarily
one's
has to
intentional
be.
and one's not.
Well,
I say we just do our own thing.
when a
whatever,
comedian
it's
says
fine.
something, I don't have to answer 100 emails and be back and forth on the phone for hours. on
Angela
end and-
had to say something too. I don't know if you saw. She said something.
Yes,
as well.
I
think she
know.
was pressured to say something.
She was like, I
Probably.
have to say something now. And she's in the middle of a move. She's pregnant. She's
You're
dealing with all these other
pregnant.
issues.
She's
she's dealing with all
actually
these
doing
other
work
issues,
too.
too.
She's actually does the work. The thing is, like, she's
She
actually
does.
doing
She does.
work. Like the work it takes to do that stuff. Which
I know, but it was
I don't
just
do that kind of work.
the tweet made no sense to me. The timing.
The minimum
the
wage
joke,
one. Are you talking about the
it just-
minimum wage one?
Yeah, it
It
didn't
was
make
based on
any
a
sense.
Nina Turner tweet. I don't know if you saw that. It was she said
Then they
25 an
should've
hour.
Yeah,
That's
but then
where I
they
think it
should have
probably came from.
retweeted that and then put that in the caption if it was something timely or it was relevant, and then maybe not use the Holocaust as a
Well,
means
they're
to.
edgy like
I don't
that.
know.
That's just
But
that one thing.
it's not edgy. But it's
No,
the
it's not
problem is-
really. It's just like, okay, we get it, huh?
Yeah, it's like we get it.
Agree
Wait,
with
aren't
this.
these the
Plant-based
the
says-
same libertarians that are behind Kaufman, right, for Senate?
Yes, Kaufman does. I like a lot of Kaufman stuff. I think he does.
Now
it
his
with-
stuff's
I've
always
met him in real life.
hilarious.
He's a cool dude. Yeah, the videos
Yeah,
are
we
His
hung
funny.
out with him.
his stuff
convention.
is both, I think, hard hitting and hilarious. But I would never get that cringiness, like from his stuff, like so.
War is gay. Like he has a war is gay one.
I mean, they were upset about that one.
Well,
it's just
it's
Good.
like you. That's because they were trying to find something to be upset about. This legitimately caused this. Okay, so that tweet made CNN last night. The one
The
about
6
the New
million
Hampshire-
one.
Yeah, the 6
All right.
million one.
Yeah,
That
what's
made-
the
that made
next
CNN.
best tweet? What's the
Yes.
next most successful tweet from the Libertarian Party?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I have the graphs
None.
on my
None of
phone.
them
I mean,
have been
so
that
you're saying
successful.
this is like a generation beyond any of the really good tweets that the LP had been doing before. But like
Yeah,
You're
but
saying it
people are
got like an
sharing it.
enormous
They're
amount
like
of more traction than anyone else. I mean, we're still
traction.
talking
Yeah,
about
it got more. We got more negative traction. I would say a lot of people retweet it and said, "Wow, this
Do you
was
not-
unnecessary."
Do you know from like a
The Meghan McCain one, like I
psychological
don't care
level,
about that.
it kind of signals to people like, hey, we'll say the things that you're not supposed to say, which you fucking have to do as a libertarian anarchist, crazy ass person like us,
I don't know if
right?
I want.
I
those
think we should.
people
I think we should
who are dying
normalize
to say 6
ridiculing
million
these
doesn't really
people.
happen.
No, we
I
need to
don't know if I want them
normalize
in the party.
ridiculing these people at every turn. Every turn. These people show up in public. They should be an immediate target for ridicule and
should.
harassment. Okay.
But the
I don't care if it's a
Holocaust?
funeral. I
Like
don't.
big booty
well,
Latinas.
all right. I don't even get that one. Okay.
Big booty Latinos. I that one's funny. I love that one.
That one took a
But-
minute for some people to get onto, and then I was like, yeah, that was I love it. Who wouldn't want to call her a big booty Latina in person? Like, come on, you know.
But to those people in the that are clutching their pearls in the LP, I would just say, like, what are you really worried about losing? Your power, right? Your respectability into, on the View, like
that's
like you don't have that, right? You're never getting that, right?
No.
But you know what? There are people out there that are sick of this bullshit and that see every one of those people as pathetic, warmongering, parasitic class of people that are just scumbags and pedophiles, right? And you know what? And if you come out hard against them, at least you're going to have them on your side. What are you going to have if you play it safe?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm just so tired of these individuals putting politics and party before principle. That they're simping for these awful fucking human beings or trying to be respectable and playing in these lanes to try to be accepted. Like, oh my God, CNN's writing an awful article about us. Who gives a fuck? Like, they're not going to like you. They're like, at this point, we just got to say what we want to say and be bold and brave with messaging. Cause like, I posted in the chat, here was responses from here was Martha Bueno responding, like basically simping for warmongers. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, we've been locked down because of COVID, forced injections. We're sending billions to Ukraine, like inflation's running rampant. Like, and
we got
and
some
they're worried
traction
about
on that
Twitter.
retweet.
What's that?
Oh yeah,
We
he
got some
did.
a little traction on that.
Yeah, because it's
Let's
just
share it. Let's see what it was.
yeah. It
Well,
was the
other people
last
who
one I
are
posted in the
complaining,
chat.
then they need to make their message be better and bigger. If their message is so much better, share your message in your way. Stop, like, I understand it's an organization, but like, you should be able to ignore that because you're sharing your own message in such a good way. Like, I'm some dumbass in Colorado and 25,000 people like what I had to say. And you know what I mean? Like, you can make your own message out there too and still be either put energy towards the actual LP or don't, but like be a part of the movement, I don't know.
And the biggest complainers of it are some of the worst messengers that claim to be in the
They
party.
got like
a lot
40
of them
followers. Like, no one knows
Right.
who they are. Like, or they're annoying as fuck.
right. Like, who the fuck are you?
Like, stop trying to control others.
yeah.
You can't even do your own at all.
Right. Oh, go ahead, Jared. So
I was just going to read this. So she said, Martha Bueno says, congratulations to the LP National and Angela for LNC chair for making the Libertarian Party the most despised party in America. That sounds like a compliment.
I was going to say, that's good. You know what? Like, if you were like, wow, you're really.
And they can't come to porch to our cool parties. They can't come to our cool parties then if they think we're so terrible.
I guess this was, sounds like Alex responded from the PRL account saying, simping for regime neoconservative warmongers because mean tweets. Good riddance.
Yeah.
She's been out of the LP for a while, hasn't she?
Right.
Yeah, she has been. Yes,
yeah, and
that's
actually,
the problem.
Yeah, she just hangs around and is like a lurker and then just talks shit. It's like, you fucking left. Like, just go
make your
on.
own platform, honey. Go make your own platform.
Yeah,
Yep,
right.
she left. She publicly left. She said it was. She claims that she was harassed by Mises Caucus people. She never really specified.
Lobster in them. They weren't harassing her.
Right.
Like,
yeah, right. I know. And then she had the nerve
believe
to sit
all
there
women.
and say,
#believe all women.
Right. So she left the party. She left, and then months later, they were at Freedom Fest, and Angela was on stage, and she was giving shout outs to all the people that were in the crowd that were like libertarians who were running for office. And Martha got upset that she wasn't mentioned.
Oh God, that's where it goes back to.
And Angela's like, "What? You fucking left the party? Like, what are you talking about?"
She's
And she was
playing
like, "Oh, it's such
politics.
low class," and she just like, dude, like, she just likes to complain about everything. And
Yeah, dude,
go do you.
I totally forgot in Reno. I think we stepped out to go. He wanted to go smoke outside, or maybe we went down to the casino downstairs just to smoke down there. And Mitch, he's another Mises Caucus. He was a delegate from Maryland, and we're walking back, and I like bumped into Martha, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Martha, how are you doing?" And like she was like all upset because this was Friday, I think, when things were getting contentious, and she's like, "You're gonna take over this party and run it into the ground," and Mises Caucus, blah blah. I'm like, well, why'd you leave the part? Like, just try to have like a conversation. You know what I mean?
Why
And
you gotta be
it's just
like drama about it? Like,
right. It's like always drama. And she's like, well, this and that and that. I'm like, okay.
bring a good time and cooperation, and you can hang out with anybody who is different, a little different from you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when you're always bringing that confrontational stuff, and no one wants to be. And I understand that people think, of course, that Mises Caucus people are like that too, but we're just smarter and funnier about it, and it's like real. So.
Yeah, because it's like I'll work with anybody in good faith. Not everybody is. And
I'm gonna bring a good time. Who wants to purposely make other people miserable? Like that's just not a good character trait.
Yeah. So
well, they're plenty, and now they're working. They're scheming behind closed doors right now. I wouldn't say closed doors. Like they're openly trying. Like they're trying to have another Libertarian Party.
Good,
they're
great.
forming
Go
like
do it.
They're forming one right now.
That's fantastic. Let's have
I'll
10
support
more.
you. Yes.
Let's have 10 more. 100 more. Like,
a forest mommy. I would have a forest mommy
that.
Libertarian Party.
Yeah, we should just start a PRL party, baby.
Well, I got the Mises Caucus Maryland page blocked from the Libertarian Policy Institute, and that Sarwark's regime up in.
Oh, he's so gross and slimy, and
I'm gonna go on a limb and say, without really any facts, that he could actually be the one that posted that like anti-Semitic themed tweet. Like, what if he actually was like one of his supporters got access to it? And he's remember, like,
he is a
still
fed,
could be
right?
on the payroll,
right?
To destroy their.
Well, he started like a super PAC. Did you guys know that he started a super PAC to run someone against Jeremy? Like,
yeah, that Policy Institute. Yeah,
and he has like a rich friend named Billy something. Do you guys? He's out there on the East Coast too. I don't know, but he's like, so he has like $3 million in the super PAC. Like, what?
That really says something about Jeremy Kauffman, doesn't it? The fact that he would be so awesome as basically like a entrepreneur / video comedian. I mean, what do you really call him? Like he is that much of a threat to them with his hilarious videos and probably virtually no budget, and like, but they have to form a super PAC to deal with that.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
true, and it's so slimy. And this just shows that obviously he knows nobody likes him, so nobody would vote for him or his ideas. It's like
either he tweeted it or whoever's has the keys to the Policy Institute. They put out a whole like, these are not libertarian values, and just a whole like, nobody's going to read all that thread, and just hatred has no
control.
Yeah, hatred has no place, and this is just hatred and messaging and blah blah blah.
Then don't read it. Then don't read it.
Yeah, that's just stuff people say when they want to get invited to the cocktail parties at the Belmont.
Right. Exactly. And I said, so I just responded, and this is what got the Mises Maryland page the block from them. I just said, faking an assault and calling security is not a libertarian value.
Wasn't even security. He called the cops.
Yeah, he called the cops too. Yeah. The whole faking
all on
assault
video. Like, how did he think he was going to get away with that? Why would he call the cops after he knows people filmed him faking it? Like,
right? He's such a.
I think it was just one more disruption. He could report back to his masters at Langley and say, like, look, I did one more disruption. You know what? Like before they handed off the account to the next person.
Pretty much, man. It just sucks, man. We're in such turmoil, and everyone just wants to.
We got bigger people to fight. We definitely all got
right.
This is why I don't pay any attention to politics. Like, listen to like all the mayhem and the this and the that. It's terrible. Like, yeah, who's got?
We have a better culture, regardless. The liberty movement that we all surround ourselves with. So, but it's just it's just annoying that there's some of these infiltrators that share these
and they're
spaces.
so unlikable. They're just so
Yeah.
They're
blah,
so unlikable.
Yep.
My God. And then like they're forming
I
the
like
Keystone Party
Martha.
in Pennsylvania.
I know you guys have problems with Martha, but I have to stick up for Martha because
No, I would never be like mean to her, but I'm just like she used to do a lot of good stuff. It seemed like
Yeah.
getting medical supplies to Cuba and stuff, and then it seemed like she dropped out of the party for a political reason to be able to run for something locally, which whatever, that's fine. But like,
Well, I'd rather people drop out of the party if they want to run some kind of
do
quasi-libertarian
whatever.
campaign, right? If you're going to run some kind of libertarian-ish on some things, but then we're going to do this over here that's not libertarian, do it outside the party.
Yeah,
know,
no,
like,
I agree.
You can
if your
have
idea is
fun
good,
doing it.
get it out there, and people will.
Have fun doing it. And I've even had friends that have like done stuff in the Constitution Party or whatever, or even in the Green Party. And like I had a friend who was a Green Party candidate, and he's like we knew each other, and he's like, well, I knew that he was, he's like, I'm going to do a Senate campaign that's just all being anti-war. It's just going to be against foreign intervention. That's the whole Senate campaign. It's like, will you help me? And I'm like, sure. Like, what? I don't care. I don't care what party you're in. You're going to do a whole candidacy based on, an anti-war message. I don't give a crap what party you're in.
Right.
But, that's really what we want, are these ideas getting out there. So
yeah, it's not about like who's saying them per se, right? I mean, it's about just advocating for the ideas themselves. Even if it's like fucking Trump out there saying like one anti-war thing,
that's what matters.
It's something that should be promoted, even if he's going to not necessarily behave that way. So,
but look at the way everybody got on board with Liz Cheney.
Oh God.
Oh, that's another thing. Real quick. That Martha Bueno apologized to
Liz
Cheney. Apologized to Liz Cheney for the remarks about McCain. So it's like, wow, you mixed up your
warmongers. Yeah.
You picked the wrong warmongering daughter. That looked the same. They're almost
Oh,
she tagged Liz Cheney, but posted the Meghan McCain New Hampshire tweet. But I mean, that's actually that was kind of like based.
If she
kind of
meant to do it on
think about
purpose,
it,
that would
though.
be hilarious.
You're kind of
wasn't one of McCain's only like decent positions was he was anti-torture.
He was anti-torture.
Yeah,
and
right?
Even Liz Cheney thought he was like, oh, "You're just awful."
Yeah, I was just listening to one of the Scott Horton podcasts when I was hiking over the weekend, and it was just kind of covering it was kind of a rundown of Liz Cheney, and I didn't even realize how horrible of a person she has been for so many years. I think Scott described her. She's like, she is to Dick Cheney what we all wish Rand Paul was to Ron Paul. Okay, she's actually taking her dad's ideas and to the next level, and she's just horrible.
That's why her dad's willing to make campaign videos for her, right? Where he looks like Wilford Brimley.
Oh, he looks like death. He's at death's door,
died.
looking all scary. You're like, this is the worst. Unlikable again. Unlikable.
Yeah.
Gross.
But it's a fun podcast. If you go to the Scott Horton show and look for it, but it's they're just.
I listened to it. It was good.
Oh, it's good. So many details that I didn't even realize how horrible she was. I just assumed she was like Dick Cheney's daughter level horrible, but she's taken it to a whole new level.
Yeah, anybody simping for these warmongers needs to listen to some more Scott Horton.
They'll hate corporate, not everybody, but left people will hate corporation people more than someone who has the ability to legally kill people or supports the things that are legally killing people around the world.
Yeah, it's
okay,
insane.
sorry, I was off on a tangent.
But anyway, so it's an interesting segue into Liz Cheney from what's her name, McCain, from McCain to the Cheneys.
Can't keep up.
God.
They look the same, kind of.
You're all just awful.
They all look alike.
They're all terrible. But yeah, so
I wonder how many people.
What's next for her?
Who knows? I'm curious if Chelsea Clinton's just gonna have people, murdered now. She's gonna follow the family.
Yeah, they're doing that show.
Family bloodline. Wait, what show?
God.
You posted it.
The
On it.
Yeah. Oh, I
that
gotta
tweet was
find
pretty
that.
based. Where'd you post
you
that?
know,
It wasn't on
I think
Twitter.
I just sent it to you guys.
Oh, you just sent
No,
I
it?
think
you
that
posted it on
this could
Instagram.
Oh,
Oh,
did
this
I?
could make a great mini series. Okay, sort of like
Oh, I
based
did.
on kind of like the big mob stories of the past, but it's like sort of the like the story of Chelsea Clinton and her rise to power. Is her first hit job, right? Like her first, it's like she works her way up she has to prove herself that she's
James,
worthy of the.
Here you go. Here's the show. Apple TV Plus announces new show. Clintons in cars killing witnesses.
Because that is an Apple TV Plus show that's coming out. It's based on her and her daughter going around the country talking to people. It's an actual show.
Wait, there is an actual show that this
Yes,
is
there's
making
an
fun
actual-
of? I thought it was
Yeah.
making fun of the Seinfeld, the Jerry Seinfeld show.
No,
Comedians
no,
in cars getting coffee.
No. This is an actual show. Look it up.
Yeah.
There's a Clintons.
Even
Her and
worse.
Chelsea are going around the country interviewing people like
Oh my
strong
God.
women across the country or whatever.
Oh god.
Something like that. It's fucking ridiculous.
Don't hold your breath for a call for us, mommy. To be on the show.
Oh, it's called Gutsy.
gutsy.
The balls on these people. Like they just have no stop at all. They just thank God for memes too. That's hilarious.
I know.
Hey, did you guys see the commercial for the George W. Bush master class?
No. Oh my
No.
god.
Oh
Wait.
There
my
it is.
god. I
We're
I'm
not
gonna
watching
try to
that.
get I'm gonna get you the trailer for this. It'll blow your mind.
Masterclass by George.
Wait,
Bush.
Joe the OP asks, will they interview Ghislaine? Strong, powerful woman.
Oh god. What kind of normie NPC is gonna watch that? That's plant based. I know, right? Like who the fuck is gonna watch this shit?
I have no
God.
clue, dude.
Oh,
There's
we
a
didn't
market.
start. Speaking of normies, this was great, and we brought it up at the. This was at basically in Maryland. It was down in what was it, Montgomery County. So the Democrat candidate for governor had a rally, and Joe Biden came, and this king. I posted in
This king.
the chat, Jared. I think it was one of
Yeah.
the first ones. Yeah. So this dude calls out Biden, and it was glorious. He got
How did I
escorted
miss
out.
this?
But
Oh,
I
can
saw
we
the
play the video?
articles, and you just,
Yeah, I got
yeah,
it.
but you just look at the crowd. Here, yeah, this was at this rally, and Biden speaking.
You stole it! You stole it, guys! You stole it! You're pedophile too!
Hold on, one more time.
Guys! You stole it! You're pedophile too!
Yeah.
Pedophile too.
Dude, that guy's so.
Yeah,
Oh,
he got
bro.
escorted
I mean,
out.
Let's face it.
That's-
This is something we say on this show every episode if we do our
Right.
jobs correctly.
Right.
It was circulating around, and you just saw the still shots. He was escorted out, and everybody was booing him. It was a Trumper, but the NPCs in the crowd that were just booing him, the masked people in this crowd, and it was a high school gym in Rockville, Maryland. And Biden was up there all drugged up, and oh my god, dude, it's just like who the fuck goes to these things
Yeah.
and would listen to Biden, and then this dude just called him out a pedophile, and everybody booed him. I'll have to
Well,
find
that's
the
what
video.
you should
Biden calls
do,
him out.
right?
Yeah,
This is
He
what
literally
you
is
should
a
do.
pedophile.
Why don't
Right?
we do this?
He
Why don't
is.
we? Why don't?
Yeah, instead of
do this?
posting like anti-Semitic
Pete.
tweets, you should just be going to Biden rallies and just yelling that he's a pedophile.
Yeah, this is kind of like this good it's like trolling, but it's very effective. It's kind of
Yeah.
like what Alex Stein's been doing. Like it's
Or
just
Right.
remember when that
like-
remember like go fuck yourself, Mr. Cheney, or like when that
throwing
dude
the
was
shoe
like when
at
Dick
Bush?
Cheney
Yeah.
Dick Cheney was touring some kind of like hurricane relief scene or something, and they were trying to do a PR scene, and like the aide doctor that came out, it is like like go fuck yourself, Cheney, like
That's awesome.
yeah. We
I mean,
should
yeah,
start.
and the shoe throwing, like there's
The shoe
these little
throwing,
Yes.
the Kanye West,
to- jail for some shoe throwing. I would spend some time in jail for shoe throwing. That'd be
You got a lot of shoes behind you there. You got
I'm
which
saying.
one
of
would be your most
options.
lethal? What's your most lethal shoe back there?
I mean, they're all pretty dang lethal.
Yeah, which one has the longest spike?
These are probably the longest what?
The longest heel. The longest
Well,
heel.
you also need to think about aerodynamics and accuracy up to at least 10 yards, right? Because
I have
the
some
problem we
these are
saw
terrible.
is
There's crosses
Oh.
on them. There's crosses
look
on
at
them. And it's got
Ooh,
tread on them.
that could like burn them like holy water too when it hits them.
Yeah,
I
that
wear
could
it
take
with
out Biden.
like a sexy nun outfit. It's so perfect.
For our audio listeners, Forrest Mommy is basically broadcasting live from her shoe closet.
Yeah.
Other people have
Let's just
books on
say-
their shelves. I have shoes here. Okay, so
Yeah, it's more like an
I got
in-law
nothing to
suite for your
prove to
shoes.
anybody.
You're like, here's all these books I've never read. No, here's my shoes that I actually wear.
Yeah, but not in the
Right.
last 2 years with all the COVID bullshit. I haven't, they really like clamped
Can't
down
go out on the town.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Oh my
COVID
God.
bullshit, how about Aaron Rodgers on Rogan?
Yeah,
Oh,
listen
dude.
today. He's
Did you
he's
listen?
my age. I don't know how old you all, but he's the same age as me.
I'm 42.
He's
How old's Aaron
38.
Rodgers?
38. He was born December 83.
Damn, and he's still slinging a football and just being based.
Crushing it.
Yeah.
What did
Yeah,
he say?
so there
The
were so many
millennial
great
dream.
clips. I haven't listened. Did you listen? Did anybody listen to the whole podcast?
I did.
Nope.
Yeah, I did today.
I have like a
You did?
half hour left, I think, or something like that.
No spoilers.
Yeah, it was
Give us the
good.
gist.
I mean, they touched on everything. I mean, he talked a lot about the COVID situation and all the insane policies that the NFL had.
Yeah, I think the
all the sort of
video-
like segregation that he was made
the
to be put
bands, the
through.
armbands. They made him wear.
Yeah, they had to wear like
armbands.
different color armbands and be masked
What
like
the
all the
hell?
time.
What?
Yeah.
Basically,
And the
whenever he wasn't playing, he had to have a mask
yellow.
on.
Unvaxxed were yellow.
This is
Yeah,
You've got to be freaking kidding me.
yeah, yeah.
Jared, there's the video clip. There's one of the video clips to kind of give those a little, because there were so many good clips that came out of
Yeah.
this
And
episode.
he's such a chill dude too. It wasn't like
He also
for everything that happened to him, he was still like explaining it. Just where you're like, yeah, that was fucking crazy, and a human
See,
would do
this
that.
would have
you know?
been. This should have been the time we should have put together our own football team. If we had known, we would have been
Right.
like, look,
What
it's going to
position
be
are you
like we're
playing,
going to just
Babs?
get. What's that?
So, what position you playing, dude?
No, I just want to. We'll
Strong
get all of
safety.
those players. See, we get all of those players, and to be like, hey, instead of you
Yeah.
having to wear a stupid armband and being treated like an
Right.
outcast, why don't you come be our first string quarterback? You know,
Mhm.
and like put together a team of all the outcasts and just you could be the best team in the league.
It'd be a PRL fantasy
Yeah, but
league,
the-
but real.
But the league is basically like a communist organization, so it's just
Yeah.
not going to happen.
I mean,
It
let's
really
face it;
is.
these guys make so much money that where else are you going to make a fraction of that kind of money, right?
Mm.
So they're obviously under a great deal of financial incentive to just go along to get along.
But aside from
So
the
when-
COVID stuff, he was getting into it a little bit on the WEF and Klaus Schwab.
Oh, damn,
Eating
really?
the bugs. Yeah, he was
No
talking about
shit.
that a little bit. He talked about he recently did ayahuasca.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
In
he
fact,
was-
they
he
talk
was-
about mushroom. He'd done mushrooms before too.
Yeah,
something like
wow.
that.
Yeah, he definitely seemed
Awesome.
like
He's a cool dude. He's a
cool-ass dude.
38-year-old, like old millennial who's had a cool life.
yeah.
With playing,
We
being
can
able to play football.
play
but-
this clip here.
That Stell's insurance.
And he's
for
from.
State
Is he from? Was he born in Wisconsin? I know he's played for Wisconsin. Is he from
I think he's
Wisconsin?
from California.
It's California.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think he was
He
talking
played at
about going to
Cal.
UC.
He
Yeah.
played at University of California.
Yeah.
I like Wisconsin. I actually like Wisconsin. I think it's a great place.
I've never been. That's one state.
There's
Yeah.
another.
Just a
There's
clip.
a Forest Mommy compound in Wisconsin that's really nice too.
They didn't give a
That
fuck.
cheese curd.
You want to play
I've eaten
football?
cheese curds.
Take this fucking thing. And I want you to do it publicly so that I can get more money out of those other people that are thinking about it and they're on the fence.
Yeah, and then we're going to virtue signal to say, look how righteous our league is. We have 95% compliance
Yes.
with the vaccine.
Compliance.
And if you don't, we're going to send a stooge to your team to show you graphs of your vaccination percentage of your team compared to the rest of the league, which actually happened.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the stooge like?
Oh, I mopped the floor with them.
Did you?
Yeah. See, again, that's why people are like, no one knew your vaccination status. You lied to your teammates. No. Day 3 of training camp, they sent this stooge in, and he showed these slides about what your vaccination percentage was in your team, where you compare to the rest of the league. And I started asking him questions about liability. Oh, I'm not a lawyer. Okay, cool. But you're in here talking about all these different things, and you don't talk about anybody's personal health issues. There's zero exemptions. You took out religious exemptions. You took out PEG exemptions. You took out anybody's ability to have an opinion. Oh, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only going to affect your day-to-day status on the team, but your ability to get a job, your ability to keep a job, your ability to get a tryout if you get cut from this team, because you want to put a percentage above 90% of your team where you guys can have some sort of like special virtue. Like, look how amazing we are. We're above the 90% threshold here.
And
That's the
Goddamn.
ESG stuff, ESG score.
Right.
Shit right
Oh
That's
yeah,
awesome.
holy shit. That's a good
That guy's
point.
great.
Holy
Did-
yeah.
Did you listen to it? You'll love it. He's a cool dude, man.
I gotta
He-
listen to it.
He also
Yeah.
he also mentioned how he was allergic to like one of the things in the vaccine, which was
a
like the
common
main
vaccine- yeah.
yeah, which was like the main reason why he didn't want to take it.
And they
And it's
wouldn't
like,
like even
nah.
give him even that. They're like, no, he's
Yeah.
just a bad guy who won't get vaccinated for our team.
Yeah, I'm allergic to bullshit too. So
Exactly.
I mean, I
They
mean,
were
what if he
shaming him
was
so
injured?
much
and-
on sports radio and sports. Oh, sorry, Babs.
What if he got myocarditis and like ruined his
Yeah.
sports career?
Right.
Like,
As some
you know,
players
like,
have developed.
it
Yeah,
could be
there
it
was a-
could be a career ending, and then an allergic reaction could have similar long-term effects that could be definitely career influencing, if not ending. I mean, of course, everybody has a right to say like pass, like. It's at least he's speaking up about it. But so did he get cut out of the team or what?
No,
what?
he
No,
kind of
no,
went
no, no.
along with all the bullshit, and I think I like give him kudos because he makes a shit ton of money, so he like played along with everything, but
I
he
mean-
lied about being
yeah, he
vaccinated.
lied.
No,
He didn't
lie.
lie.
No.
lied.
He
did
said
what
he
I
was-
did.
He
said
said he was
immunized.
immunized. He
Yeah,
said
I
he was
think
immunized
immunized.
because he was taking some immunization protocol where you ingest like very small quantities of the virus in like a solution or something, which was like a more holistic way apparently to like defend yourself.
Yep.
Like, whether it works or not, I don't fucking know. But like that's what he was doing, and he was legitimately doing it, or at least
I'm
that's
glad
what
he
he
did it.
says.
And I'm glad.
And then so like when they asked him, "Are you, what's your status?" He's like, "I'm immunized." And
Yeah.
they never asked him like, "Oh, does that mean like vaccinated or what?" They
Yeah.
just were like, "Okay, he said
Every
the
human
magic
being
word.
is immunized against millions of viruses.
right."
Yeah, I think the thing
Right.
that's
So then when it
He's
came
able
out
to
that
get
he
away with-
didn't have the jab, they used that against him and said that he lied. But he was like, "No, I said I was immunized, and I believe that I am."
Yeah,
and he was able to get away with it.
This
He's
was last
he's-
year. Still,
he's one of the
height
top.
it.
He's the top quarterback one of the top quarterbacks in the league. He's a
Well,
superstar, Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
He's been around. But what really sucks, if you're a player that's like on a practice squad or you get cut from a team, it's like those other teams, just like Force Mom was saying, like with this ESG shit, other teams wouldn't want to take the risk or like, well, we don't want to give that guy a tryout. Or you're
Coaches
like
literally
kind of
said that.
pressured to get the vax just to have more opportunity to play football. Like if you're a dude on the bubble or you're a person that could get cut, or it's like, so then you're making decisions you're making a football decision based on vaccine status. Like that's fucked. Like
This is why I'm saying we need our own team to like scoop up all these people, have the super team, of just of the unvaxxed. Like, and somehow like no, they're not dropping dead on the field. I wonder why.
Well,
I'm gonna drop dead
Oh.
from like fun drugs, not that. That's for damn.
Well, speaking
That's
of
great.
teams, we got a good team going on over on their Patreon. Yeah.
Oh,
How you like
sweet,
that transition?
sweet segue.
Yeah.
Heyo.
Oh,
So,
Nima, real quick. Nima wanted to. What are
Oh,
you
what is
drinking
it?
for us, mommy?
I ended up grabbing like a little bit of a strawberry margarita. There's so much beer at the other house down where I had porch too. That's the one thing I love about libertarians. People bring stuff, but there's so much beer left over, and I didn't bring any back to this house, and I was like, damn, I don't have any beer here. It's all down there, but so I had to make a margarita. That's what I had, strawberry
Cool.
margarita.
Nice.
Nice.
Go
Well,
ahead, Oz.
you can keep drinking that margarita on the After Hours podcast, which we're going to record right after this one. And if you guys want to hear that podcast, plus all of our other After Hours podcasts, I suggest you guys sign up for our Patreon for as little as $3 a month. You get to check out the whole back catalog of episodes, So if you guys don't like using Patreon, and there's other ways to donate to the show, if you go to prlfans.com and you can send us Bitcoin, PayPal, good stuff. And we also have t-shirts for sale. It's another good way to support us. You go to if you go to libertariancountry.com, use the code PRL or PRL Podcast, you get a 10% discount. And if you spend $50 or more and use the code PRL2, you get a 20% discount. Geez, sorry. And that's about it. So until next time, live free
or die.